What's up? Let's have some quick game talk. I'm gonna talk about game patches and nerfs and voting with your dollars. I think that shit's kind of important. So, Battlefield Hardline's coming out in a few months. I think 2 months, maybe something like that. And if you've noticed, I haven't really been posting much Battlefield 4 in this channel, even though I at one point liked Battlefield 4. The reason I had to stop posting it because Battlefield 4 is just a mess. And I'm most likely not going to buy Battlefield Hardline because of the poor release of Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 was released in an incredibly tragic fucking state, and I don't want to experience that again. That game was released fucked up. It didn't receive a patch till like 4 months later to where they actually fixed the game. And I'm just not into this whole environment of where they're releasing broken games and then saying, well, you got connection to the internet, so we'll just patch it later. That's unacceptable in my opinion. And in order for me to really, kind of do anything about it, is just to not play that shit. I just can't patronize their business if they're just gonna keep fucking up like that. So I just decided that, I'm not gonna fuck with Battlefield 4 anymore. I mean, Battlefield 3 is actually a great game now that after they patched it, and Battlefield 4 is probably better now, but it took them a year to patch it. And in my opinion, that is just beyond negligent. All right, that is like some President Bush level negligence. All right, like you bring a game out and then a year later, it's workable. Like, are you fucking insane? I can't pay you people like for that. I can't give you my money for that type of negligence. Like, what the fuck? So Zone B, I just had to fall back on Battlefield. They clearly don't give a fuck. They're going to release a broken game, and they expect you to pay them for it, and I'm just not. And I see that. I don't know what's going to happen with Hardline, but it looks like it's probably going to be the same fucking thing. And what I'm going to do is I might still get Hardline, but I'm going to wait at least a month or two to see if it's released all fucked up, if it's glitchy. I'm going to watch some level cap. I'm going to watch some reviews from IGN and GameSpot, and I'm going to look at the game and see if it's worth a damn, instead of just buying it because I like Battlefield. And I do like Battlefield, but based on their performance, I can't pay them anymore. Like, I can't give them my money because they seem to become a group of fuck-ups, and they remind me of Call of Duty. That's why I stopped buying Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 3 was the last straw for me. I was just like, I'm done. I can't fuck with this game anymore. Even though I love Modern Warfare 2, even though I like Black Ops and I like the COD 4 Modern Warfare, I can't give them my money anymore. I can't purchase that bullshit anymore. And honestly, I encourage everyone out there to take an objective look at these games and these developers and what they're doing, like what type of quality they're bringing forward, because the only way to really have any affect any sort of change in the game world is to vote with your dollars. I think people should be objective with this and just really take a look at what's going on and decide whether or not, decide to just go another way with their money. Say, I can't patronize this. I can't keep giving them my money. They're just gonna keep fucking me over. And that's how I do it. And another thing I'm thinking about getting, I'm thinking about getting the Nintendo, the new 3DS. That shit looks amazing. Like, I never had a 3DS. I never had a DS. I had, last Nintendo thing I had was Game Boy Advance, and I love that motherfucker. That shit was no region lock. You could do anything. I was going to different countries at the time, so I was playing different games from different countries just by popping them in. There was no region lock. You could play, there was amazing games on it, and you could just do anything. Not to mention, you could play all the old Game Boy games if you had them, all the old Game Boy Color games if you happen to have some. And I was lucky enough to catch some some cool overseas games and like just pop them in and play them. Like, that's how incredible the Game Boy Advance was, and I just love that thing. But the reason I'm thinking about not buying a 3DS is because what Nintendo's doing with YouTube. Basically, Nintendo has decided that they're gonna flag YouTube videos who aren't giving them the highest praise. So basically, if you get a Nintendo game or Nintendo console and it's a piece of shit, and you say it's a piece of shit, and that they're fucking up, they flag your video for copyright and get you knocked off YouTube and get strikes on your channel. And in my opinion, that's bullshit. And I want to get the 3DS, but I don't want to support that fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that 3DS, but god damn, Nintendo, I can't believe they did that pussy shit. Then they're trying to set up some sort of program to, allow people to post Nintendo videos but they're gonna like cut into their profit. So either you give us the highest praise, or we fuck you over, or you join this program, we take part of the profits from your work, and you still give us the highest praise. Like I just can't see myself supporting that sort of bullshit. I want to get the fucking 3DS, the new 3DS, but man, fuck Nintendo for being a bitch like that. Like, for real. But I don't know. Like, I'm gonna take a look at things and see how Nintendo moves about, and if I see them moving about in a better way, I might get the new 3DS. And the same thing with Battlefield Hardline, because I like DICE, man. If I see DICE putting out a real good game and it doesn't come out with all that bullshit, all those glitches, and it actually works and it's actually new and innovative, it's not just a Battlefield 4 DLC. If I see them moving about in a good way, man, I might buy it. But for now, I'm not buying it, because they don't have respect for their customers, and they don't have respect for what our money means to us. They just don't give a fuck. They think, hey, just gonna buy us. Same thing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty releases shit, and they just say, hey, they'll buy it, because whatever. And that's one of the reasons I love Titanfall. Like, I got Titanfall on the 360, not on the Xbox One. If you bought it on the Xbox One, you fucked up. And honestly, in a way, the guys who made Titanfall fucked up by not releasing it on all platforms, by betting all their money on Xbox. That was a bad idea, because Titanfall is incredible. I love that game, and it's made quite well. The gameplay, it flows. You can fight in all sorts of different arenas. You can fight off walls, in the air, do all kinds of crazy shit, the type of shit you want to do in a shooter. And I just love that game. I love the way it's made, and I like the way they just looked out for what shooter fans want. That game plays well. It doesn't have a lot of guns. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the type of shit you see in like Blacklight Retribution, where it has a whole bunch of extra shit. But I'm pretty sure Titanfall 2 will probably have all that extra shit. I like Titanfall 1, still play it, and I'm looking forward to Titanfall 2, and it's a must buy for me, because they just did a damn good job. Like, I gotta look out for people like that. I have to give my money to people like that, whether they're big developers or indie developers. You know what I'm saying? But I just can't give my money to people that are just gonna continually fuck up. Like, no one in any sort of business or with the right mind would do that. You know what I'm saying? Just ask yourself, would you give your money to a babysitter if she almost drowned your kids twice? No, you tell that bitch to fuck off. So I gotta look at it like that. I gotta be able to vote with my dollars, and I just gotta be able to say, you know, I can't fuck with you. Like, for that right now, I'm fucking with Destiny. I like Destiny. It was made by the people who play Halo. I like the way it plays. I like the MMO and RPG type of things in the game. I like the collectible aspect of the game. There's a couple things I would like added to the game, but so far it's fine. I don't have any problems. I don't even understand where the Destiny hates come from. I think it's because people are still playing the same stale bullshit, and they're kind of mad that like Destiny came out, did some other shit. Like, dude, Destiny, it has the Halo mechanics. I like it. It has strafe sniping. You can't even strafe snipe in games anymore. Battlefield puts a heavy penalty on you for walking with a sniper rifle. If you walk left or right, there's a heavy penalty. In this game, you know, normally in shooters, you strafe to line up your shots correctly. So, you know, why would you remove something like that? It's just another thing. I don't understand why people add in all this unnecessary bullshit. And speaking of unnecessary bullshit, take a look at the weapon I have right now. That's the Vex Mythic class. The Vex Mythic class was the crown jewel of the Vault of Glass raid. That thing was nerfed just beyond any sort of repair. All right, when I first got this weapon, it had 56 rounds. It now has 35. It did a crap ton of damage. It now is a squirt gun. One of the most prevalent exotics in this game lays waste to this, and this was one of the hardest weapons to get. I got 3 of them. And I don't really understand what these nerfs are for. They're so arbitrary. Like, there was a shotgun nerf that did jack shit. Like, what was that for? Shotguns weren't broken. Shotguns were fine. Some of them had more range than others, but mostly it was a random drop. And once everybody got the found verdict, people for the most part was all good. Not to mention, the Invective is still the best shotgun in the game. That thing's easy as fuck to get. So I don't get these arbitrary nerfs that keep coming down. The Mythic class didn't need to be nerfed. It was a great weapon, it was hard to get, and it was fun to use. And I barely saw him in PvP. I barely fucking saw him. And now it's not even good in PvE. Like, are the thralls complaining? Like, you never see the thing in PvP, and it was a monster in PvE. Now they just knocked it down. This was the crown jewel of the raid. The Necrochasm sucks. The Mythic class was that dude. The Mythic class was a fucking myth, was a real beast, and they just destroyed it for no reason. And if you know anything about me, like when I play games like any RPG games like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whatever, I don't accept any sort of fucking patches or updates because I know they're just gonna be nerfs. I know they're just gonna fuck up swords and different pathways, and I'm just not into that shit. So I just usually don't accept them. But in this game, I have to accept them. There's nothing I can do. I gotta play online. I have to accept the shit. But I'm just not into all this bullshit nerfs for people that are whining. Like, learn the meta, learn how to play, learn different strategies. Like everybody's saying that fusion rifles are broken. No, fusion rifles are fine. Learn to deal with them. Learn to slide with your shotgun. Learn to use a fusion rifle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get the arbitrary nerfs. Why was the Archon Priest strike nerfed? For what? Why did you take away air you can get it to? First of all, the shit was, I mean, it was so ridiculous just to do it. Like, who did it help? You know what I'm saying? Who was anybody hurting by getting away from the bosses? There's a million strikes where there's a way to get away from the boss and get into a safe place. None of those got nerfed, but I don't get the arbitrary nerfs and the just weird bullshit they keep throwing in the games. I don't know what it's for, who it's helping, what it's about. You know, I get stuff like fixing it so Crota wasn't kneeling the entire time. I get that. That makes sense. But shit like nerfing the fucking what was it? The first part of the Crota raid where you run through the lamps and now the lamps can't blow you over. I mean, you can still get over. What the fuck was that nerf for? Are they gonna nerf their jump now so you can't jump over anymore? I just don't understand arbitrary bullshit like that, and I'm not into it. And I'm thinking about maybe finding a way to get the fuck away from games that are constantly nerfing shit. Call of Duty did that. I wasn't a fan of it. But as always, like this commentary, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll catch you motherfuckers later.